Rise Up. June 23, 2016. Ah! Do you see how very powerful your words can be? We do not speak of an uprising. We are speaking of raising your own state of consciousness. And the actual topic we wish to address is the turmoil that you find yourselves in at this time. Now, without making a list, we do not wish to make this a downer, as you call it. We wish to talk about the fact that there are a great many things happening around you that you truly find disturbing. And we know that a great many of you are burdened with a perennial why. There could be many discussions of why this or that happened, and in fact, there are such discussions every day. Your media hardly lets you think about anything else. But those discussions do not reach the underlying cause that we want to ask you to examine. We want you to look at this as a collection of events, not as a series of separate events. And we want you to think of yourselves as us, not as they or them. Think, what are we doing and why, not what are they doing and why. Because when you are able to do that, you will acquire an entirely new perspective. There are many levels of consciousness. There are individuals. There are families and groups. Cities have consciousness, as do states, countries, continents, species, and worlds. And the list goes on. There is a great change taking place that involves all of these on this planet, indeed this entire sector of your galaxy. And that is the context we wish to explore. You have determined to rise up. You wish to reach a higher state of consciousness than you have been experiencing for the last many thousands of years. Good for you. But much of what your consciousness is carrying with it, much of what you think you know, and much of what you are sure is true, what you believe about yourselves, cannot exist in those higher levels. This is not news to most of you. What you must see in order to understand this conversation is that you will not throw that baggage overboard if you have not acknowledged its existence. And we do not mean look at what they do. We mean look at what we do. Once it becomes look at what we do, it will instantly change. There will be an unavoidable rise in your consciousness. Why? Because in your hearts you know you are not that. If they do it, you have made it separate. And you cannot change them. We are seeing momentous changes to compassion, to empathy, to love. Yes, some do not choose this yet. But by far the greatest number do. And it is changing you. Also, please remember that from your current points of view, you cannot see whether or not an individual has a contract to serve by bringing certain things to the attention of the collective. Better to assume they have than to condemn. We know this is difficult at first. But, as we have stated before, you need to learn to separate the act from the actor. There is no need to condone any action. And one last thing you might wish to consider. All of the above means you are making great and rapid progress. The evidence of that is still just beginning to emerge, but it is there, and it will be unmistakable very soon. And the joy of seeing such evidence will spur you forward even faster. May you see in yourselves much to confirm for you these words. And know we are never separate from you. Good day. Channeled by Ron Head. RonAhead.com